I say, not run. Don't be afraid. I will not leave you alone.
Amazing. He's like the white Muhammad Ali. He might not talk like Muhammad Ali, but he is the Muhammad Ali of the last generation.
With an all-time great. Not a generational great, an all-time great. A generational great would almost dictate that Oleksandr Usyk is just a great in the last 10, 15 years. No. Oleksandr Usyk is a great.
Oleksandr Usyk fired back at Floyd Mayweather's comments by saying boxing isn't some street fight. It's a sport for gentlemen. He made it clear that real fighters don't run their mouths or duck challenges. They prove everything inside the ring.
And listen, boxing, it's sport and the gentleman. It's not a street fight. It's a boxing. Listen, boxing. It's a boxing. Say it again.
Do you think he was being dirty during the whole fight?
I don't have idea. I have no idea.
No.
Maybe.
Analysts have pointed out the huge contrast between Usyk and Mayweather. Usyk stays humble, no matter how much he's achieved. There's no ego. Meanwhile, Mayweather still talks like he's above everyone else. Usyk shows that you can be great without bragging or putting others down.
One of the best of all time. I know a lot of people are probably going to hear me say that and say, you're going too far, you're this, that. Because I've seen that straight away. As soon as Usyk did that, he's 2-time undisputed heavyweight, 1-time cruiserweight, 3-time undisputed. His resume, yes, look, at heavyweight, it's a lot of rematches. It's the way he's doing it.
Yeah.
And he's not just, okay, he could have 10 world... Deontay Wilder has 10 world title defenses.
Yeah.
Luis Ortiz and Tyson Fury are the only ones you really have any kind of weight to them. Usyk is taking on the perceived either number 1 or number 2 in these defenses.
Yeah.
Fury perceived number 1. AJ at the time 1. Dubois number 2. He's taking like, all right, who's the next in line? Right, I'm fighting him.
Yeah.
That's the way he's doing it.
And he's doing it in a way in which is so beautiful to watch.
Derek Chisora has nothing but respect for Usyk's mindset and skills. He called him one of the most mentally strong fighters he's ever seen. Chisora even joked that you'd have to be crazy to want to fight Usyk, just to show how tough it is. He praised Usyk's movement, his brain, and how cool he stays under pressure. Outside the ring, he's friendly, but inside, he's a machine that's almost impossible to stop.
Listen, what I'm saying is this, yeah. To beat Oleksandr Usyk, you have to be mentally disturbed in your head. Yeah?
You have to be mentally disturbed.
Yeah, because you have to understand.
Or to take the fight in the first place.
Yeah, because when I saw him a couple of months ago,
yeah.
I had a coffee with him with this chat. The guy lives in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yeah. He goes, oh, before I came on the plane, I was sleeping in my house, and then those missiles were going over my house, and I didn't want to go in the bunker. I was like, I'll just go to sleep. It's some craziness, isn't it? I mean, like, hey, imagine you now, you're in your house in Barnet, Timbuktu, and then missiles are going. What are you gonna be like?
Yeah, he's cut from very different stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then remember, so you have to come in there looking to go to the other side, because he's looking to go to the other side. Man, can you do us a favor? Can you stop beating us up? No.
Chisora didn't stop there. He compared Usyk to Muhammad Ali, calling him the Ali of today. He was blown away by how light Usyk moves for a heavyweight, and how he relies on timing and IQ instead of brute force. To him, Usyk fights with grace and brains, not just power. Watching him, Chisora said, feels like watching art in motion, a heavyweight who brings beauty to the ring, just like Ali did.
Everybody gets it wrong. You don't box this guy. It's like, how can I explain it to you in a way you understand? You can't box him.
He's just too good.
He's just unbelievable great. Yeah, you can forget good, he's amazing. Yeah, he's great, he's amazing. He's like the white Muhammad Ali. He might not talk like Muhammad Ali, but he is the Muhammad Ali of the last generation. You understand? We have to give him the credit where he's due. Yeah? He is that guy.
Eddie Hearn, one of boxing's top promoters, also believes Usyk is more than just another champion. He called Usyk a once-in-a-generation fighter. Hearn has seen a lot of talent in his time, but Usyk's mix of speed, timing, and control, even as a heavyweight, is rare. The way Usyk moved up from cruiserweight and still outclassed top fighters shows how special he really is.
just, you're talking about one of the great generational. I watched the first 2 rounds, and Dubois looked really dangerous. Came out, backed him up, and then Usyk just decided, I can't allow him to back me up, so I'm going to go on the front foot and box aggressive here. And he knocked him spark out. Unbelievable. Just a true generational great.
After another dominant win, Usyk's now being placed among boxing's all-time greats. Analysts rank him as the 4th greatest fighter ever, a spot almost never given to active boxers. It's not just about the wins, but who he beat, how he beat them, and how consistent he's been. He's proven himself in different weight classes and in enemy territory. This isn't hype. It's backed by facts and legacy.
Now, what's yours, Jerry? What's yours?
Oleksandr is the 4th greatest fighter on my personal all-time list.
Wow.
It's number 4. He's only behind Ali.
Oh, on your all-time list?
All time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Only behind Floyd, Ali, and Manny. So, I'm really high on Oleksandr.
Usyk isn't just a champ. He's the definition of elite skill and strategy. Outside the ring, he's quiet and respectful. Inside, he's razor sharp. He doesn't chase fame, doesn't talk trash, and never begs for attention. His fights do all the talking.
The WBO, Frank Warner very close. Joseph Parker is obviously a Queensberry fighter. So, there could be potential that they do what they did with this fight, what they did with the Dubois fight. It also means as well that, maybe this is why, potentially it's because Riyadh season shows from November onwards, and I doubt we'll see Oleksandr Usyk in the ring this year because it's only July, but he's only fought. And I would imagine Usyk is going to be one of these 6 to 8 month type of guys. That's the way he's been over the last 2 years. So you're looking probably February next year at the earliest when he finally fights again. So for me, it's like, right, well, that will be after the Riyadh and Ring Magazine's pay-per-views end, as in they're not going to be doing pay-per-view anymore. Maybe they look at that fight and think, Usyk Parker, it's a fight that, with the greatest respect, and Oleksandr Usyk is a very big name, it maybe does need that pay-per-view wall behind it in order to facilitate the purses that they could potentially forking out for it. So maybe that's why Riyadh season won't do it. Now, the Zone obviously have not ruling out pay-per-view, they're still going to do pay-per-views.
Just look at his record. Usyk has taken down champions and rising stars. His win over Daniel Dubois showed how he handles power with smarts. Dubois looked dangerous on paper, but Usyk broke him down with pure strategy. And even with all this dominance, Usyk stays humble. He never calls himself the best, even when others do. In a sport full of egos, his calm confidence stands out.
It was sort of broken up in different directions. Even I wasn't sure because although I believe Usyk is the fighter of the generation in this weight class, he's at an age where, overnight you sort of show up and you don't have it anymore. Ali randomly lost to Leon Spinks around this age and whatnot, So you could get where all of a sudden, it's not there on the night. So, and you had
heavyweights takes 1 second, one split second, you're off.
Yeah, exactly. And you also had a very motivated Dubois to add to that second, who's a very powerful puncher and has sort of this bully mentality when he gets you in an uncomfortable position. But, Usyk, flawless performance technically, stepping out to that weak side consistently, mixing up the jabs, making things uncomfortable for Dubois rhythm-wise.
He seemed more aggressive, right? Normally, I think with some of the bigger guys, he sliced that weak side, sliced that weak side. This was different.
I think with Dubois, the psychology is kind of out of the bag in that you got to kind of bully the bully, and Dubois came out trying to bully him a little bit, so he started touching him and hitting him, and he started taking it to him because you start backing him up, you start putting him in a situation where he starts to doubt himself, and Dubois doesn't really come back from that very often. As a matter of fact,
he doesn't bend, he breaks.
In the fight, I thought he's a little bit awkward, Dubois. I don't know,
he's one of those awkward strong guys.
Yeah,
he's just like super strong, awkward as hell.
He goes down and he takes the full count, and then he just gets up at 10 and walks across the ring right in front of Usyk, who's celebrating middle of the ring, like with his hands up in the air. Just casually walks right by Usyk's celebration as if he didn't just get counted out to 10.
Foreman Ali. Remember, he walks right to his corner.
Yeah, but I was like, dude, you could have got up. You waited to 10, and then
he was a beaten man.
You waited to 10, and then not only you get up, you don't even have the presence of mind to realize, like, I'm walking right into the picture where he's celebrating.
But Paulie, he was a beaten man before the first night.
What really sets Usyk apart is how people talk about him. Not just as the best today, but one of the best ever. Fans, legends, and analysts are already placing him alongside boxing's all-time greats. His fights are being studied as examples of mastery, becoming undisputed in multiple divisions and beating top names in their prime. All while staying classy has earned him a permanent spot in boxing history.
He tried to jab. He tried to throw that right hand, and he landed that right hand a couple of times, by the way. He got Oleksandr Usyk in the corner, and he was trying to work. But ultimately, he's in there with an all-time great. Not a generational great, an all-time great. A generational great would almost dictate that Oleksandr Usyk is just a great in the last 10, 15 years. No. Oleksandr Usyk is a great since boxing began. Since boxing began, people. Understand what we're watching here. We're not watching a generational great. We're watching an all-time great. That's what Daniel Dubois was in there with. There is a discussion in my brain right now as I'm talking to you about where Oleksandr Usyk is when it comes to the best heavyweights of all time. Like in my head right now, I'm thinking, who beats him?
Now, some in boxing are even asking if Usyk has passed legends like Ali or Mayweather in terms of pure skill. Ali had style, Floyd stayed undefeated, but critics say Mayweather didn't face the same level of top-tier opponents during his best years. Usyk's not known for hype or defense. He's built his name on heart, risk, and world-class technique.
Interesting heavyweight division, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys thought of Usyk's performance, where he ranks on the all-time list. I know, everybody was big into their nostalgia, but remember, Soviets were not turning pro until the 90s, and I think that makes a big difference. That's another thing. Heavyweights are bigger. Lefties are more common now, and also the Soviet era of fighters did not start turning pro until the 90s. So the old days, they didn't have to deal with those guys. So a lot of things that also favor Usyk being a GOAT. But of course, man, it's hard to pick against Ali being the GOAT.
Trainer Ben Davison has added his voice to the praise. He highlighted how rare it is for someone to dominate both cruiserweight and heavyweight. Becoming undisputed in both is almost unheard of. Davison says this proves Usyk's adaptability and mental toughness, traits only the best have. And coming from someone who breaks down the sport technically, that's high praise.
But makes that obviously another thing for you about.
Really a good time for me to talk about that sort of thing. So,
besides, just how good is Oleksandr Usyk? We've seen him now come into the heavyweight division, fight a Derek Chisora, fight Anthony Joshua twice, fight Tyson Fury twice, and he's the undisputed heavyweight. No, he was until obviously the belt let go. But what do you make of him as a fighter? Just sum him up. Special fighter.
Yeah, he's put himself in the mix to be. He's put himself in the mix as one of the greatest heavyweights that's ever been. So, undisputed cruiserweight, undisputed heavyweight, amazing.
Usyk didn't take the easy road. He never padded his record with soft fights. He went straight for the toughest challenges, even if it meant fighting away from home. Whether it was hometown heroes or undefeated champs, he never backed down. That mentality is what earned him respect. While others protect their records, Usyk chose the hard road, and now he's being rewarded for it.
Usyk has dropped Daniel Dubois!
I'm sorry. I can't help it, man. I fucking love this. Honestly, I fucking love this game.
What a performance! He's quit! He's missed it! It's over! It's over! Fuck the greatest of all time!
Fuck me. I'm sorry for going on like a lunatic, right? But it was unbelievable. And it's funny how this fight all came about, right? The controversy in the last fight, which for me was never controversial. It was a low blow, simple as that. And I don't think we've ever seen Oleksandr Usyk ever look for an easy way to win. In fact, I think of all the fighters on planet Earth, he is the one who takes the hardest road to win. There's no tune-up fights for Oleksandr Usyk. It's the biggest fight in a heavier weight than he should even be fighting at, and he makes life harder for himself, not easier. And I think he has proven his character time and time again. But yet he was accused of not being, a real Christian because he was a cheat. He was accused of deserving an Oscar because he was a play actor and robbing Daniel Dubois of what should have rightfully been his, which was a world title. And after the Tyson Fury fight, Daniel Dubois stepped in the ring and called him out. And Oleksandr Usyk immediately turns to Turki Al-Sheikh and says, Mr. Excellency, make the fight. He had no problem in setting this up. And immediately you kind of think he was in the middle of talking about his, his father, I think at the time. It was an emotional moment. That's a time where when you've accomplished what he's done, you deserve respect. And I think he was disrespected there. And I think he took that personally, in the words of Michael Jordan. Now, in the first round, Oleksandr Usyk did exactly what he needed to do to Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois coming in with a load of confidence, wanting to be the aggressor, wanting to be the dominant bull that he was against Anthony Joshua.
Boxing coach Dave Coldwell has also praised Usyk's style. He said Usyk's activity and accuracy are unmatched in the heavyweight division. Most big men rely on short bursts of power. Usyk stays active, lands clean shots, and keeps pressure. With perfect timing, he breaks opponents down without giving them a chance to breathe.
Pick up the pace, and you just still can't go with it. It takes, it does have an effect. But what I'm trying to say is Usyk's work to the body, the volume of body punches. I'd like to see the stats on body punching. Be it straights, be it a jab, be it backhands, whatever. Because Usyk's volume of body work is what I thought was the difference in the fight. His lead hand activity was probably the best it's been since he's been at heavyweight, maybe. I thought he took away, we were all talking about the Fury right uppercut going into the fight because he had a lot of success. We were all talking about what Tyson's going to do. But, I said Usyk's clever. His people, they're going to look at that and see what they can do better.
Former champ Paulie Malignaggi called Usyk's latest fight a technical masterclass. He was amazed by how smooth and balanced Usyk was from start to finish. Using movement, angles, and perfect footwork, Usyk stayed safe while landing big shots. Paulie said his timing and IQ were nearly flawless that night.
Wow, and the rematch stops him early. Was it 4 or 5? I don't even know. I'm so caught up in the moment. I don't even know which round it was. It was 4 or 5, but man, it was in the first half of the fight. What a performance by Oleksandr Usyk. And a lot to discuss here, guys. A lot to break down here. First off, Dubois much more successful in the first fight than the second fight. Was the wet ring? Did the wet ring have anything to do with it? I saw in the post-fight interview, Dubois was asked about why he couldn't land this jab. What do you guys think? Was obviously Usyk's gonna make some adjustments. I think the adjustments are gonna be made in rematches. But did the wet ring? Because I thought the wet ring had a big part to do with why Usyk had some trouble in that first fight. And a wet ring hurts footwork guys more. I was a footwork guy. I've worked out sometimes in wet rings. It's frustrating. I've actually thrown temper tantrums in gyms over rings being too wet. So back in the day, not now. But what I'm saying is, to fight in a wet ring, that had to have some effect on Usyk and his footwork, because he's a footwork guy. And tonight you just saw his footwork was stupendous, magnificent.
And according to Roos, Usyk came into his last fight with something to prove. Despite everything he's done, some critics, especially from the UK, still question his greatness. Usyk felt that he stepped into the ring, not just to win, but to send a message. He fought with purpose, fire, and total control. And by the end, there was no doubt Usyk isn't just a champion. He's a legacy-defining fighter who deserves every ounce of respect.
I think he went out there with bad intentions, didn't he? I think he was on a mission to prove that, 38 isn't old yet. And I was talking to some other guys, including Richie Woodall, and saying that, he's gotten better. If you look at his last 3 fights, the first Fury fight, second Fury fight, and this one, each one has gotten better, more dominating each time. So, age is a number, I guess. When you're in the gym all the time, it takes a long time to age.
When we spoke on Thursday, I could tell you were genuinely confident, but did you believe it could be so early and so conclusive?
No, I'd be lying to you if I said that, no. I thought it could be dominating. I thought he was doing the things that I think Dubois did, what I expected him to do, and Usyk did what I expected him to do. He controlled, moved, waited, but then he started landing hard.